How many pull-ups could I do with a very severe case of food poisoning? That is not something that I ever hoped to find out, but today is my lucky day. I will be doing that. So food poisoning absolutely sucks, and I awoke this morning around 4 to vomiting, and let's just say I am now wearing 2 pairs of underwear. Nobody wanted to hear that, but I just like to keep it fairly real. So I thought I would teach you guys a little bit about food poisoning and what's happening inside me and what caused it, and then just jump right into how many pull-ups I can do while having maybe the worst case of food poisoning that any man has ever had. I hope that's not the case, because it does appear that food poisoning likely killed Alexander the Great and President Zachary Taylor. And Zachary Taylor was simply just trying to munch on a couple of cherries, and 5 days later he was in the grave. So what is food poisoning? I did write that down. No, I didn't. We're just gonna have to guess on what it is. It comes from animal turds, and it can get into anything. It's not necessarily the last meal that you ate that might give you food poisoning. It can be something from up to 3 days ago. I believe for me, the culprit is spinach. That honestly looked pretty bad when I was eating it, but I still kept eating it. I do plan on suing, I won't say the name because of legal reasons, but I do plan on suing a supermarket in Florida that rhymes with public. Okay, so most food poisoning is actually undetectable. It's not like what you think of when you see a bad bag of spinach and then you accuse a supermarket that rhymes with public. Very often it's completely undetectable. There is no smell, there is no taste. It is not those little wilted up leaves like I was eating last night. I hate to admit that. So it may have caused the Salem witch trials. They think that some of the people in town were munching on things that made them see things and start accusing each other. So what I am currently going to try max rep pull-ups with caused 20-something folks to get hung in Salem, Massachusetts in 1692. So there are long-term complications that can be associated with food poisoning. Arthritis. Oh, great. Now I have arthritis. Kidney failure? Well, at this point, why not? And then a very rare form of polio called Guillain-Barré. And now I'm kind of an expert on Guillain-Barré because I have an uncle that got Guillain-Barré, if I'm even saying that correctly, when I was a young man. He was a pot dealer, and he got caught with about 100 pounds of marijuana. And it looked like he was going to go to jail for an extended stay, but I don't know, luckily or unluckily, he got Guillain-Barré, and they said, you're good, you can have probation, because we all thought he was going to die, and he was in a wheelchair for a long time. Guillain-Barré makes you essentially go paralyzed. So that's what I got. Let's go ahead and get to the bottom of this and see how many pull-ups I can do while having the third, because it killed Alexander and killed Zachary, the third worst case of food poisoning ever in history.